right, welcome to the Wise Mind Happy Hour. I'm John.
I'm Kelly. And
we have a guest in studio.
Yes.
We have James Hruska,
Hello, everyone.
LCSW. So now I'm outnumbered at this table.
Yeah.
It's a social work party.
2 social workers, 1 LCPC. Josh, get your LCPC.
I've got a PC.
Yeah, you do. I don't know what that is, but...
Personal computer.
Yeah, perfect. You're right there. But we're always joined by Josh, our producer.
Yeah.
So welcome, James.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, y'all.
Oh my God, it's so
nice.
exciting.
Yeah, it's so nice to be in this room with you both, considering we used to share an office.
We used to share an office. It's
like
huge
back-
reveal. We were all coworkers, and we shared an office.
Yeah. This is really getting the band back together,
Yeah.
if you will.
It's a throwback. It'll be 7 years
Wow.
in
Since
the
you...
spring.
Holy
since
cow.
I joined the team when we used to all work together.
Oh my God.
Just kind of wild.
Time is weird.
Yeah.
Time is weird. And when James joined, you were very young.
Yeah. I was fresh out of grad school.
That's right.
It was my first full-time job.
Yeah. Wow. You wouldn't have known it. Yeah. You were such a good employee.
It did not feel like that. Because sometimes when we have people join, or when we did have people join the team, there's a very vast difference between new graduates of
Oh, yeah.
people that really was almost like they were just born, and then literally it was
Straight out the womb.
straight out of the womb.
Right.
Okay, we're really gonna have to do a lot of hand holding. It didn't feel that way at all.
Wow.
And you took to it like
yeah.
a duck to water.
I had
Yeah.
some good teachers, so
Oh.
that being the both of you. Yeah. I mean,
Go
y'all
on.
taught me a lot of my group therapy DBT stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, y'all taught me that.
Good times. And you taught us about Gen Z life.
Yeah.
You know,
Gen
the rest of the
Z.
world.
Yes, definitely.
I'm
Bands,
I'm
music.
cuspy. I'm cuspy.
You're cuspy.
Millennial,
because you're
Gen Z.
technically a Gen Z.
Because I was born in 94. So I think
Okay.
that's a year or two before the cutoff?
Yo,
Is it
what is the
95, 96?
cutoff?
Yeah.
95? Oh, if it's 95, so you're technically millennial.
I'm technically a millennial.
Because I'm right on the cutoff. Isn't 80 for 1980 or 1979 for...
Is it 80 or 85?
Oh. maybe
Wait,
I'm
I'm going to
wrong.
look it up just because it's so topical.
No, yeah, you seemed older, not as young. But then when you revealed you're like, yeah, I'm taking off 5 days or 4 days for Lollapalooza, I was like, okay, I'm old. Because if James is doing that, he's still in the game. He's young. He's doing it. I was like, I can't do that. I can barely do one full concert. I'm
Oh,
tired
man.
after a
Yeah.
couple hours.
I'm tired.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what is going on here? And then standing outside in the heat at Lala all day. I know, Josh, that you live for that, but
I live to be tired.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Taking
Lala.
the Monday after off work is essential.
Yeah.
So I can just be on my
Rehydrate.
bottom and rehydrate. I was at a concert though a month ago, and the headliner went on at 8:20 instead of 9 p.m. and I was like, this is everything I could have ever asked for. I'm going to be in bed by 11.
That is
I love
always
hearing that.
my Achilles heel. It's like, okay, you're going to go to this concert. And then they're like, here are the 3 bands that are going to come on before it. And I'm like, I'm not even going to see the show I paid the ticket for.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
it's so late.
Yeah.
Like shows at Lincoln Hall used to start so late. Do they
Yeah.
still do that?
We have one on Thursday.
When
Oh,
is
wow.
when is the main
think-
act going on?
Probably 8.
Really?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I feel like-
Lincoln Hall, I don't think is obscenely late. I gotta
Ugh.
check the books.
Empty
though.
bottle is
Oh,
crazy.
yeah,
very
that's-
late.
It's 11 they come on.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a few times when I went to Lincoln Hall. Now,
Maybe they
granted, that was
changed it.
years ago where it was like,
Yeah.
what is going on here?
Right. Yeah, you're like, I gotta get out of here.
And then I'm just blowing money because I'm spending money on drinks
Totally.
for 3 hours.
Totally. Well, yeah,
Before
so
the
you can get a
concert.
reasonable spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need a matinee concert. Go on at 1
Yes.
p.m.
Totally.
Yeah.
I was just saying that about something. If they made this earlier in the day, I'd be all for it. What was it?
Bed.
Wouldn't it be funny if I always think it's kind of an odd experience when you go. I love going to the movies regardless, but when you go to a matinee and then you come out and it's still bright outside, what if you went to a concert and then you came outside and it was still bright?
It would feel like it was
wasn't
like
an
a
outdoor
kid's concert.
but you went to a really dark venue and then you came out and you're like, man, I'm glad that show started at 11 a.m.
It's wow, it's already the next day.
I still got
how
my
did
whole day ahead of me.
Wait, this is what I said it about. Like a nightclub. I could go to a nightclub and dance and hang out if it was almost during the day.
Yeah.
I could do that and I would enjoy that, I think. But, that's not how it is. It's like you don't even go till it's like midnight,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I don't do that anymore.
No.
I don't know the last time I saw midnight on my clock.
Wow.
I mean,
See, I know I've said this before, but our problem is like I'll be here doing nothing and midnight 1, I'm on my phone.
You're like scrolling away on those cooking videos.
I'm like watching cooking videos. We're watching TV. Yeah.
You're looking for the
My
full
sleep
body
hygiene.
heat suit that we talked about last episode.
Yeah, online shopping for sure.
Which, speaking of last episode, if people want to see, we have Heart the Lover, here,
Yes.
the novel that we talked
we
about. I'm
ordered it.
excited.
Josh already finished it.
Josh finished it in a week. Lily King, I'm going to take it home.
It's a great book.
So
We don't have your heated gloves though to demo.
No. I mean, they're in the drawer over there. But
Grab them.
plugged in.
They're charging.
they basically are
Gloves. Let me
charging.
write that down.
They're sleeping.
They're
Let me write that
sleeping.
down.
They're
Gloves.
resting. Yeah.
Can't forget
They're
that one.
resting.
God, I love those heated gloves. They're so great.
Well, they're everything in the weather right now.
Yeah. What's funny though about the
terrible.
weather now and heated gloves is like how cold it is now. You're not going to go out really for more than just A to B. So I'll turn the heated gloves on. Josh and I went to dinner on Saturday. I turn the heated gloves on and I'm outside for 2 seconds. They're not even heated up yet. I'm in the car. Now they're hot. I'm sort of like,
Yeah, what's
I don't know if
the
this makes
so
sense.
you have to turn them on here for like 15 minutes before they start to actually go
Yeah,
down?
I could do that. Yeah.
That makes sense, I guess, right?
It's like
It's like a heated blanket. You got to turn that.
Yeah,
you got to let
gotta
it go for a little
crank
bit.
it. Yeah. Now my fingers are cold in the car too, so it's like that helps. And then I can leave them on the whole car ride, and then they're hot once I get out. But they're also a little heavy. So
I just imagine you like in the car like this.
like immobile.
Josh has to put like the belt on you because you're just
It's
like,
almost like that. Yeah.
And then you're strapped and you're like, now I have to pee.
yeah, I'm wrapped in bubble
Well, you
wrap.
put them on, and then trying to get the coat on, trying to do the zipper,
no.
trying to put your boots on, trying to get your, whether we like valeted our car because I had this cash. I'm like, we're using this cash to valet. It's too cold. So then it's like trying to get the money out of my wallet. It's like all kind of a little bit of a mess. Like I felt a little silly.
I get really dumb in the cold.
Yes.
I went to Goodwill the other day on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and they didn't have anyone working there, so everyone was just like piling everything on the side where someone's usually standing to kind of like organize the stuff that's coming in. And I took my boots out that I was donating. I put them on the pile. Then I took my clothes out, put them on the pile. Then I took the boots and put them right back in my bag and went into the car. And I just
And he came
And
home
you,
with
you
the
brought
boots.
him back?
I came home with my boots.
You're like,
and
look
then
what I
they
got
were
from
there.
Goodwill.
But
So we donated these beautiful boots that fit me. It's
It was
crazy.
10 degrees.
It is hard to think. When
Yeah.
you're in
It's
the
hard
cold.
to think. It is.
I
That
can't
was
imagine
pretty
people
dumb.
that went to like the Bears game this past weekend. Like that must have been crazy.
I mean, that's insane.
Apparently, the quarterback of the Rams wore a scuba suit
Wow.
under his uniform,
Wait, scuba?
Like a wetsuit?
like a wetsuit.
Oh,
like
a wetsuit. Okay.
I think for a wetsuit to work though, it's supposed to have like liquid in it because your
Oh,
body
weird.
heats up
Sweat?
the water in the wetsuit to keep you warm.
Now, again, this was like
So was he just like
that's what
peeing
they
in
said
his
before
wetsuit?
the game. I can't confirm. I didn't watch the game, so I can't
Wow.
confirm whether that was. But that was the word, was that he was going to wear a wetsuit. Yeah, weird. You'd have to get it wet.
I
think
mean,
so.
I'm surprised more players aren't like, again, this is a sports podcast. I'm more players
You know, I'm
aren't.
turning this into an NBA podcast. That's the point. That's my large scheme.
I'm surprised more players aren't like demanding, like, I'm going to be wearing a full thermal suit if I got to be out here.
Well, they have to perform though. You know,
Yeah.
maybe they feel like it impedes on their performance.
Right. Or probably the tough players that are like
Well, you know,
bare
there's
skinned
also
out
the
there,
image
like
thing. Yeah,
yelling.
they're like,
Yeah.
I don't care if I get frostbite because I'm
Right.
tough.
I hate almost nothing more than being cold. It's the worst feeling.
It's a pretty bad feeling.
Yeah.
Eh.
But it's nice to be inside when it's cold out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And being cozy.
Yeah.
I value coziness.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't have to like do anything.
Yeah.
If you don't have to do
My younger brother, John, speaking of that, when he can't sleep, he told me he does this visualization that it's like really cold out and he's like snug and warm in bed and it helps.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
that helps him fall asleep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. It's interesting.
That is a nice visual.
Yeah. I don't know if he just like came up with that or what, but he said it helps.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we'll do a little checking in.
Checking.
And I'm trying to think if we should explain any more about James. I mean, you're a wonderful former office mate. You're a wonderful therapist. You're going to help us talk today about cults.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm just so interested by cults.
Yeah.
I like consume all of the documentaries and books I can.
Yeah. Okay, so you'll be
get
our
into it.
resident cult expert.
Yeah, unofficial.
Unofficial cult expert.
Yeah,
I love that.
We're
Yeah.
unofficially experts in everything
Yeah.
on this
I love that.
podcast.
That's what
which
a
is
podcast
great.
is for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We're kind of like Keith Raniere's of this podcast. Who all of you will learn about in due time if you don't know about him already. But yeah, let's check in. Maybe we'll go
Let's
around.
check in. What did you do this weekend?
Okay,
Or you went to dinner?
we went to dinner. Josh and I went to a really good dinner. Have you guys been to the place Andros Taverna?
No.
Are you talking about the place right next to it? There's Andros and Mano a Mano.
No, we went to Andros.
Oh, you went to Andros.
Yeah. Have you been to the place next door?
Yeah.
Is it
Mano a
good?
Mano is really good. But I haven't been to Andros.
Wow.
I've been wanting to.
Okay, so we love Andros,
Uh-huh.
but I'm totally interested in Mano a Mano.
Yeah.
It's like Greek food, but like kind of more authentic. I mean, I'm sure someone from Greece would be like laughing their head off hearing me say that, but it's like more authentic than maybe like your average.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? They have really good spreads. That's a big thing. Like their bread and their spreads,
Ooh.
like eggplant dip.
Terra masalata.
Terra masalata, which is a very authentic Greek spread. It's like salmon dip. It's so it's
sounds
salmon mousse almost. It's so
Whoa.
salty and so good. Or like fish eggs, basically.
Yeah, if you
Salmon
like fish
roe.
eggs, but liquid.
You'd be all about it.
Interesting. Okay. The
Best thing I've had
texture
all
sounds a
year.
little odd, but
Liquid eggs.
It sounds
So
good.
good.
I'm
It's
trying
so
hard to make
salty.
something appealing sound unappealing.
Yeah. And yeah, what else did we have? We had lamb.
We got that the fried eggplant wrap with halloumi.
Oh, it was like very lightly breaded and fried eggplant with halloumi cheese rolled into a pita.
That sounds great.
It was so good.
That might have been my favorite of the night.
Yeah. And then we got this martini they had that like kind of wasn't that good.
Tasted like Malort.
And like, yeah, it had like a slight Malort taste, the famous Chicago alcohol. I mean, nothing's as bad as Malort except Malort, but
That's a judgment.
I mean, yeah, nothing's as punishing as Malort.
That's fact.
How do we non-judgmentally describe
Nothing's
Malort?
like drinking razor blades more
Yeah.
than
Or it's almost like
Malort.
smoke and like things I can't even say out loud on a podcast.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Totally.
I need to go check that place out because the sister
Yeah.
restaurant Mano a Mano, it's like the same
So they
owner,
are
I think.
connected. Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
and they're like the Italian kind of vibe. So it's a lot of like homemade pastas and.
We didn't even think of that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why it was so easy for us to get a res because they opened that new one and people were on
yeah.
there. I bet you that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, some might call this a little overpriced. You know, some people like my dad and Josh's mom both said that about this place, but we like it. And if you order the right stuff, like they have a couple things on there, like fish by the pound, like don't get that. But you can get out of there at a reasonable price.
Yeah,
It's really good.
maybe a
It's
little
like-
bit fancier.
Yeah. That's really all we did, right? Did we do anything else?
We just kept going to that restaurant. Well, we were boning up for this podcast.
Oh, yeah. We were watching
Nice.
the first season of this
Yeah.
show that we're going to talk about. The cult we're going to talk about. We were, boning up on that. Yeah, we really were cozy at home.
I like
so
it.
I don't have anything too interesting.
Too interesting.
Yeah, perfect for this
Yeah.
cold weather.
We got a dog.
We didn't.
It's hiding.
We watched Felicity. We watched Felicity too.
Yeah, we're watching Felicity if you guys have ever seen it from the
I
90s.
love Carrie Russell.
Yeah, she's great.
Sarah loves anything Carrie Russell's in, but specifically Felicity.
Yeah. I feel like Sarah and I have really similar TV tastes.
I have not watched The Diplomat, but everybody says she's really great in that.
No, I haven't watched it either. I tried to watch The Americans. I couldn't really get
Love
into
The
it.
Americans.
You loved it. Okay.
Oh,
I got to give it
so
another
good.
shot.
I loved it. But I really like the spy genre.
Yeah.
And that it's set in the 80s before like all of this like technology.
Right.
I just think it makes more of like the black arts or the dark arts like
Yeah.
interesting when it's less technology based.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
and
totally. It's more impressive.
Yeah, and it's just more about like relationships and I don't know, wasn't she in Waitress, that movie?
Yes.
Saw that a long time ago.
Totally. But what's new with you? We'll go around.
I'm trying to think. Well, I ended up going to the Bulls game, which that'll lead into our How Wise Is It question, even though it's like bitter cold. So we went down there and there was not that many people there because the Bears game was on.
Oh, okay.
So, and actually, Wes had a game over here at Chase Park.
Oh.
He has another game coming up there if you guys want to
Oh my
drop
God,
in
yeah,
and watch.
next time tell us. Yeah, we would love to.
Yeah, so he had a game over there. He scored his first points of the season, so he was jazzed about that, which was great. Yeah.
That's big.
I know.
Oh, so
He was
fun.
down on himself after the first game after he didn't score, but
Okay. Scoring's not the only thing.
it's not the only thing. And his coaches tell them that. Like, it's not the only way to contribute, right? And
He
so
rallied.
got it. Yeah, but then
Wow.
we were kind of just hanging out too because it's so cold, like
Yeah.
during the day.
Yeah. Wait, when you said the thing about the Bears game, it reminded me we did see a movie. We saw The Housemaid. Have you guys can see it?
That sounds familiar.
Is that
The
the
one-
Sydney Sweeney movie?
Yeah.
What were your
Yeah.
thoughts? I haven't seen it.
It was
but-
like fun. It's a movie. Like
It's a movie.
it's not gonna like ask a lot of you like emotionally or metaphorically.
We almost were wondering if it was kind of poking fun at a certain genre.
Yeah,
of like,
it seems like it.
what would the genre be? Like trashy, like trash
Almost that
noir?
like Fatal Attraction
Oh.
kind
Love
of.
it.
I was like, is this the Fatal Attraction?
Michael
Like a
Douglas.
psychological thriller,
Yeah.
It's a psychological thriller.
It's a psychological
Yes.
thriller.
but trashier.
It's what not Paul Feig. Wait.
Paul Feig,
Paul
yeah.
Feig, the director of
Who did
Ghostbusters.
Bridesmaids, Ghostbusters.
Oh.
So it's like there'd be music cues at parts where like people started laughing in the theater when it wasn't like being played for laughs in the movie, but like the music was maybe doing that,
Okay.
kind of like heightening it in like
Yeah.
a satirical way.
Wait, this is a
Oh.
movie that's out right now in the theater?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys went and saw it.
Yeah,
Oh,
went
I
and saw
thought
it.
you were just like streamed it or
No,
something.
we went and saw it because I realized like it was not busy because of the Bears game. when
What
you said
theater?
that. At the Alamo Draft House.
Oh, I've been meaning to go there.
So fun.
It's so great.
Parking
Yeah.
lot's a nightmare. But it's
Okay,
very
yeah, that's my concern. I'm like,
fun.
Wrigleyville, do I want to drive there?
Yeah, there is a parking garage and that's great, but it's very narrow.
Or as Shane would say,
and it's
the
on Clark.
Alamo draft.
The Alamo.
Oh, so cute.
I was like, really? Alamo?
God, I had so many things like that when I was young.
Alamo.
Remember the Alamo.
Yeah. One time we were
Remember the
driving
Alamo.
and all of a sudden Wes is like, Latin. And I'm like, what? And I'm like looking around. I'm like, what do you see Latin? And he's like, right there. And I look over and it says LA Tan.
Oh,
And I'm like, Latin? I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, all the
LA
time, these kids.
Tan.
It's like
it's so cute.
Latin. It's like, no.
When I was a kid, I saw an
Alamo.
LA fitness sign. I was like, La Fitness.
Yeah, La Fitness. Exactly.
La
I love La
Fitness.
Fitness.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I
and then
love that.
yeah, that just reminded me. The other thing I try to well, two things. When we talked about last week, I really tried to romanticize. I went to the record store,
You did?
Yes.
Wow.
so I got you all
Jealous.
stickers from Reckless.
Wow, yes.
Cool.
This is for you.
I love
Wow,
it.
thank you.
But I
Cool
went.
sticker.
I turned my music off because sometimes when I'm in the record store, I'm listening to my music.
Okay.
So I
great.
just really tried to like listen to what they had on,
Yeah.
and just spent like 20, 25 minutes, not too long, but just kind of went in there. I didn't buy anything. I just wanted to like take it all in and enjoy being around it. So it was a great experience.
Wow.
Did it feel like you were in
Yeah.
a movie? Very romantic.
Very romantic. I mean, I was wearing a beret, but no, I wasn't. Just because that clip,
Smoking
we
a
were like, maybe you have a beret and maybe you're drinking a cappuccino. Yes. It didn't feel romantic. It did feel like caring. That was the word. Like
Yeah.
it was, I care about this store. I care about engaging with music in this format. So yeah, I feel like it filled me up a little bit.
I love that.
So I tried that out.
Yeah.
And then I tried, I'm on the second episode, I watched TV So Slow, Black Rabbit.
I've heard that that's great.
So it's
but
got
I've not
Jude
seen
Law and,
it. Bateman.
yeah.
Right?
Why can't I think of his first name?
Jason.
Jason Bateman. Yeah. And so he is, Jude Law like owns a restaurant. And then that's like kind of like at its peak. I don't want to give too much away. But anyway, Jason Bateman comes back. He's kind of an estranged brother, but you're kind of getting a little bit of the backstory about like how he was a part of the restaurant building it, and he has like addiction issues and things like that. And so he's kind of in trouble, and kind of his brother gets roped into it. So
Interesting.
trying to
I mean,
watch
it
it.
sounds like an interesting plot.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about Jude Law, but anyway,
Yeah, how are we all supposed to feel about him?
I don't know.
He like cheated on his wife with a nanny.
Yeah. I don't even know if I like him as an actor.
Yeah.
What about an I Heart Huckabees?
Loved him in that.
Yeah.
That movie I know some people don't like.
And this is, it's a safe space. I can admit this. I do like the movie The Holiday. I don't like Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
She
Fair.
ruins that movie for me.
Totally fair. And Kate
Um,
Winslet saves
I
it.
love all of the parts that have Kate Winslet and Jack
She's
Black
so good.
in it. But anyway.
Well,
So
Jack Black's just a national treasure.
Yeah.
yes,
he's amazing.
for sure. What did you do, James?
Yeah, tell us.
Well, my fiance Luis loves the cold, and it was very cold this weekend. So we went over to my future sister-in-law's place, and Luis grilled in the backyard.
Oh, nice.
With
my
the 5-degree weather,
Wow.
and made a really amazing feast. So
what
we
did he
enjoyed-
make?
Oh my goodness, so much stuff: skirt steak, chorizo, chicken, like onions, zucchini.
Was he standing outside or was he
Yes,
doing the thing where he
the
was
whole
like,
time.
I'll flip it, hop inside,
No,
and then when it's ready to flip again, I'll get back out there?
Just
Like a cold
out
plunge.
there. It
That's
was
bold.
snowing while they were grilling.
That's
I'm
bold.
Like, that is commitment.
God, it was so cold.
Yeah. And Luis had the best time.
Do you think that if there's a little feeling like I can do anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah, what does he like about the cold?
he just like runs hot. So I think it's like finally outside doesn't
Yeah,
make me sweat. And
I got
burn me up.
it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can't imagine running hot.
No.
I am cold 24/7 pretty much.
Yeah.
Except for like some moments.
But think of the feeling you get if you're in a really stuffy like party and then you step outside and get that blast of
Oh,
air. If that's what he's feeling
It's
like
amazing.
a lot, then it's
Uh-huh.
like I'd go for that if I ran really hot because
Yeah.
that is a really nice feeling when you're just like, oh, thank God.
Uh-huh.
Right.
I think they just feel like empowered in the cold. They're like, nobody else is out here. It's my time to shine.
Yeah.
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 And then yesterday my car didn't start.
That's right.
So I had to Uber to work, and I had unfortunately parked in like a metered spot because it was like Sunday night when I left my car there, and so you didn't have to pay on Sunday. And so then I had to pay what was like $5 for every 2 hours my
Wait,
car just
did you
sat
have to
there.
pay still on the holiday?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean the meter took my money.
That's terrible.
It doesn't normally if you don't have to pay.
That's terrible.
I didn't know if there'd be like a meter made out there in the 0-degree weather, but
Oh, and they find you
yeah, they would.
like
Right?
immediately.
Yeah, that private company would have meter maids out there.
I come back and there's still a ticket. They somehow like almost know where they have a sixth
Yeah.
sense of it's like
Yeah.
there was only a 5-minute window there where I wasn't covered, and then terrible.
Yeah, I'd rather pay the $20 for the parking than deal with the
Right.
parking ticket. But the weird thing was when I came home from work, my car started. So I don't know what to make of that. I only crashed out like a teeny tiny bit. So I felt pretty proud of myself for the way I coped with that one.
Oh yeah, crashed out as the kids say.
Yeah,
Crashed
That is like
That's the Gen Z part of my cusp coming out.
no. There's nothing more frustrating than when you're like that's the furthest thing from your mind. You already got your day planned out. You're like,
Mhm.
my car's gonna start. That's a given.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't happen, yeah, game over.
Oh.
Shout out to Luis though, because they like packed my lunch the night before, like laid out my clothes, went and
Oh,
got me my
that's
favorite
nice.
coffee, and then they like went to scrape the car off and the car wouldn't start. And they're like, well, at least I did all this really nice stuff. And I'm like, thank you. I think that gave me enough, I don't know, dopamine to cope with
For sure.
the car not
Totally.
starting. So yeah.
Cars, so annoying.
I'm curious about it starting later, like it needed to get just a little warmer out.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
It has 145,000 miles on it. So
Wow.
That's a well-loved
A
car.
champ.
yeah.
What kind of car is it?
An Elantra. I've been on quite a few journeys with her. She was fully stolen from me when I was in Minneapolis. I got carjacked.
Oh my God, and they found it.
Yeah. I had to get it towed back to Chicago, and then there were some repair issues with it, and it was
Whoa.
a whole saga.
Wow.
So she's still kicking.
It's an epic.
Oh my God. Josh and I thought we were going to have our car stolen when we went to the Pistons game.
Oh my God.
We did a Spot Hero and they told us, like, drive in, leave. That's the Spot Hero directions. And then we got there and there were these two guys that were like, we'll park your car. It's valet tonight. And we were like, doesn't say that on the Spot Hero app. And they were like really insistent. We gave them the keys in the car. And then I had a meltdown panic. And we went back and I was just like, I'm not leaving here without my keys. And then they finally were just like, whatever. They rolled their eyes at us and gave us the keys.
Oh wow.
But it was kind of scary.
Mm.
Huh.
What do you guys make of that? Was I being a Karen or?
I don't know.
Or was Josh?
I'd feel anxious about it, especially after having my car stolen once.
Yeah, I think that's a
Yeah.
healthy fear.
Yeah.
The Spot Hero thing is tough. Like,
It wasn't in the directions that there would be 2 people there parking cars.
Huh.
It also wasn't in the directions that we'd get our car stolen.
did you have like a
Exactly.
QR code that they like scan or anything like that?
No, this one didn't have that.
Or like a barcode?
Oh, wait. Here's what. Actually, I lied. When I looked back at the directions, in fact, it said there will be an attendant. Have them look at your Spot Hero app. Then you park your own car, and then when you arrive back at your car later, you just drive it right out. And they wanted to take our keys. That was the difference.
Yeah, that seems a little bit right. That seems a little weird.
So
Because I think I've done the Spot Hero where they scan the barcode or they see the
Yeah.
barcode and then you don't relinquish your
no,
keys.
it's kind of the benefit of Spot Hero.
But it was valet night, so
Well, it was very confusing. And then we were seeing people drive their own cars in and out as these 2 people were like, we'll drive it.
it's like that scene in Ferris Bueller. It's like, yep, take those keys. Just
Awesome.
they're just going around
Boom, boom.
the greater Detroit metro area. To come back with,
Yeah.
with 15,000 more
Totally,
miles on it or whatever.
You just got to put the car in
Yeah.
reverse.
Yeah, put it in reverse.
It'll
What a great
reverse
idea.
all the miles. So yeah.
I think when I was little, though, I thought that might work because I didn't know how cars worked. So if you put it in reverse, why wouldn't
Yeah,
it go
why not?
down?
Erase
Seems
all the
logical
miles.
enough.
Yeah, it makes
Totally.
the most sense.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've all had fun weekends, winter
Cold,
weekends.
wintry weekends.
Yeah. Should we get into some cult talk?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay, let's do it. So we've talked about cults before on this podcast.
we have. But that was more in the wild, wild country
Yes.
talk.
Mm,
I think we
mhm.
talked a little bit about
Yeah.
that.
And like when we were watching this, I wasn't really thinking as much about the similarities between this cult and Wild Wild Country, but it could be interesting if anyone has thoughts on that, or if it comes up in our discussion.
Yeah, so our main cult is going to be which cult? Because you all watched it right before.
Yeah.
So
James and Josh and I did a little rewatch of The Vow.
The Vow.
The first episode of The Vow.
Yeah, so it's the Nexium cult
Yes.
out of Albany, New York.
so what is the Nexium cult?
Well, okay, so I Googled what does Nexium stand for, and Google AI said it doesn't stand for anything. They just named it Nexium. NXIVM. Which it's really seems like that should be an acronym, but
Yeah. I
it
think it's
isn't.
just supposed to look, it's just supposed to look cool.
And okay.
Yeah. And
Check.
So the Nexium cult, a lot of cults like Scientology, for instance, identifies as a religion. So it's like a tax exempt religious organization. Nexium's a little different. It's like a self-help organization
Okay.
that claims to be based in science. Now, whether that's real science.
And this was started by Keith Raniere.
Yeah. Keith Raniere, who calls himself a scientist, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, or Vanguard, according to the cult.
Yeah. Tell us about Vanguard.
Yeah, Vanguard, which, by the way, is a bit of a red flag if the leader has this special name and you
Yeah.
can't refer to him by his name. But
Yeah.
yeah, Vanguard or Keith Raniere is sort of like the leader. But I wouldn't necessarily say he's charismatic.
Right.
So that's sort of interesting. But yeah, so he's developed this technology, and is the smartest man in the world.
Yeah.
And
That's what all the followers say. He has an IQ of 240, according to Keith.
according to him.
Yeah, none of us have seen any documents.
According to nothing. But yeah.
Yeah.
This is so I want to interject here because I've seen this entire as you have, but
Yeah.
you all are rewatching it. I wasn't able to rewatch the first episode again. I always remember from watching the entirety of it, never having a full understanding of what the cult actually did for you.
Great question.
And I feel like
Yes.
it just wasn't really explicit in
No.
explaining. Is that the same word, explicit and explaining? But I don't remember it being like, here is our main objective.
Totally.
to
Why would
help
someone
you.
join this?
Why? Well, right.
Yeah.
Can you guys explain that? Because I don't
Yeah.
feel like I had a good understanding of okay, self-help, great, but what is it helping you do
Yeah.
with the technology, whatever the tech is?
it enhances human experience.
Okay.
Don't you know what that
What they
means?
say.
I have no idea what that
No,
means.
I
Can you
don't either.
please tell us?
I think that's part of the issue is that you can't really define the result, so you can never
Measure.
be done or know that you met your goal.
Right.
So you're constantly spending more money for these intensives and constantly having to work out your disintegrations and
Yeah.
And when you say these sessions, they're like the one-on-ones or they're the group sessions?
the
They're both.
one-on-ones. Well, the one-on-ones are kind of group sessions because they're done in front of everyone.
And then what do you do in them?
Okay. So
I'm just thinking of somebody who's listening to our podcast right
Yeah.
now, and
Well,
like,
okay, let
and
me
I
start
watched
it.
the whole thing, and I'm still like, what are they
Yeah.
doing here, though, other than playing volleyball?
right. Volleyball plays a huge role.
Like, I don't get it.
So yeah, there's all these like funny disparate parts, but because now I've seen that first episode 3 times.
Okay.
Now I'm like even getting a inkling of what, like, how someone might like A, learn about this organization, and B, want to join. Like, what would motivate them to want to join? It sounded like from the doc, because as all cults have this directive of recruitment, like get a lot of people to join the cult and like grow. So each member has like recruitment responsibilities, like when they're in the cult, as well as like dues, and they have to pay money. It seems like what it said on the website was like an organization with the goal of like creating a more enhanced civilization, which is like both like sort of specific, but pretty not specific. And like, it seemed like people found this by meeting members out in the world who were probably sent on these like recruitment kind of missions. And it is a little coercive even in the recruitment, because they would say like, oh, are you noticing like your life is like whack-a-mole, and when you fix one problem, another pops up and another pops up. You know, don't you want to not have that? Like almost like, don't you want kind of like inner peace, self-actualization? Don't you want, and then by getting that, you're participating in us making all of society actualized.
Yeah. And so Nexium is like an umbrella company. And underneath it, there's all of these separate parts of it.
Yeah.
And so the main kind of one is ESP, or Executive Success Programs. And basically the sell is that they're going to be able to teach you how to like reach all of your goals, whether that's like a creative goal, like writing music and getting a record deal, or like being a film actor, writing a book, or like pursuing some, you know, prestigious career. They're like, we have the answers for you to reach all of your goals.
Got it.
And then it turns into this thing where they're like, we believe that you have control over your emotional state and your reactions at all times. So if you want to feel happy, you can just manifest the feeling of happy and live in that feeling all of the time. And
See, I feel like this was much more helpful than even the documentary. Maybe I just need to rewatch it again. I just felt confused the whole time.
I mean,
Like,
it truly
just like put the 10-minute clip of the sales pitch so I can
Right.
see what it actually like is, or something like that, you know?
Yeah,
But maybe that was done on purpose. I don't know.
Totally. And I think they didn't really have a sales pitch because they were a little coercive in trying to get people. Because each person in the documentary talks about their story of finding out about it and joining. It was pretty like quote unquote organic, meaning they'd meet someone and they'd say, I can change your life in 5 days, or I can, you know. And it seems like people went out and looked for people that were kind of searchers and seekers and maybe a little lost.
Right.
And I know from watching a different cult documentary, the one about Heaven's Gate, I believe it was that doc where they had a cult expert on. And she said, you know, people always ask me like, are cults, like people who join cults are like broken or mentally ill or like inferior? She's like, no, never. They're always like high functioning, pretty like socially adept people that are at a very lost moment of their lives. Because she was like, cults do not want members that are going to be dysfunctional, that are not going to play their role, that are not going to be enthusiastic and motivated. They want people like that. But it's usually people at a pretty vulnerable time. So, which seemed to be the case with a lot of the characters in this doc.
Yeah.
And this is an HBO doc, by the way, if you want to watch it. And it came out a few years ago at this point, maybe 2021 or something. Their core ethos is like, you are in your own way in terms of everything you want, and your like growth and becoming what they call unified. Your limiting beliefs are what are stopping you from getting there. Or they call them disintegrations, as James said.
yeah, and then they do these kind of like one-on-one sessions, but it's in front of like the whole crowd, so it's not really one-on-one.
Yeah.
And they call them EMs, or exploration of meanings, and they claim that they, you know, could do like a year's worth of therapy in 20 minutes or whatever. So one of the examples was one of the guys, Mark Vicente, had very intense like anxiety when being driven on the highway. And so he does this EM, and the next time he's on the highway, he's like, oh, I realized that I felt nothing. And I tried to bring up the feeling of panic and it wasn't there. And so I was so, like flabbergasted that it worked. And
Yeah.
so they have these claims that they can, do a year's worth of therapy in 5 minutes and, help these people with their integrations. And
Yeah.
So that did work for him, though.
It
in
did.
that instance, right?
Yeah.
So we're
Totally.
thinking about the power of suggestion, placebo.
Well, what they tell you in the doc, and I had forgotten this, Nancy Salzman, who's like kind of head of
Oh,
curriculum,
yeah, I remember that name.
was an NLP expert before they developed Nexium, which if you remember, who's an NLP expert was on this podcast.
I don't remember.
Albert Bramante.
Oh, really?
Hypnosis and NLP are pretty connected. Remember he was saying neurolinguistic programming?
That's right.
Because Josh and I were like, NLP.
Right.
So I think these explorations of meaning are like types of his hypnosis or NLP, which kind of tracks for how they might work pretty quickly for pretty suggestible people.
Yeah.
And then get them in an even more suggestible state. I mean, it might essentially be hypnosis.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, were you, because I don't remember, when you joined, were you doing your own, like living your own life and then going to meetings? Because what I remember is that like compound where they all live together. So was it like am I misremembering this, or is it?
They have these like retreats or like
The retreats,
5-day
that's what it was, the
events that you have to
retreats,
pay thousands and thousands of dollars for. And then it's more so if you like decide that you want to like commit your life to, becoming like a teacher.
Okay.
Most of them end up moving to like Albany, New York, where Keith Raniere lives. And then they all kind of like live in the same neighborhood or share houses and stuff.
That's what it was, right?
Yeah. But what was really interesting in this first episode is that after they kind of talk through just like the general kind of like intro sessions, they start to go into like their Tourette's study and claim that they've like cured Tourette's in multiple people.
Yeah.
Which is their attempt to, make their tech more valid and like scientific.
Yeah.
Even though it's not peer reviewed nor actual science.
Right. And there are some clients or like subjects from that study who like claim that it cured their Tourette's.
Mm-hmm.
And then others who argued that the study was pretty like unethical and kind of abusive in its tactics.
Yeah. Well, one of the things too that's really coercive about the cult is that in the like sessions, they have you write down like your deepest, darkest fears and like all of the things you have regret for. And then you're like turning that in to the leaders,
Right.
who obviously are able to review that and like use that against you. And so they like know your most vulnerable things and can kind of use that to manipulate you to kind of continue to pay money and move through the program. So
Right.
Got it.
yeah.
And just because I just looked this up, because this is great, but I wanted to know like what makes a cult a cult.
Yeah. Tell us.
So, AI always, right?
Yeah.
Approach with caution. A cult is a group centered on intense devotion to a charismatic leader or ideology, using manipulation and control to demand extreme loyalty, discourage questioning, isolate members from outside influences, and enforce rigid rules, often creating an us versus them mentality with unique beliefs that dictate members' lives.
Yeah.
It's defined less by specific beliefs and more by authoritarian control, deception, and psychological manipulation that disrupts the members' identities, turning them dependent on the group.
Yeah.
So I know that's a mouthful, but that helps me kind of understand
Yeah.
through a lot of that, like what makes it, and certainly the charismatic leader, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a big part too of this is if you like leave the group, you get like excommunicated and
Excommunication,
shunned,
yeah.
and you're fully out, and like nobody talks to you. Or in Nexium's case, they'll use like legal action to go after you and
Punish you.
force you to pay all
Yeah.
sorts of money for lawyers. And
Yeah, which is very common in Scientology. People are harassed if they leave.
yeah,
And you're also kind of encouraged to excommunicate people in your life that are not part of the cult.
Right.
Like suppressive people, both Nexium and Scientology use that term for people who are against the cult's ethos or not in it. Yeah. And yeah, so should we talk about what's most controversial about this particular cult? Because there's
Please.
many things.
Let's.
James, you want to let us know as our expert?
Well, so, throughout the vow, it kind of details this, but, it's sort of like turning the heat up over time, and you kind of don't notice that the temperature is increasing. But, Keith Raniere ends up creating this kind of like subgroup called DOS. and he starts getting the women to become his like slaves, which is, sort of a coded word, but that's
Yeah.
what he calls them. And so then it kind of creates this like sorority, and the women within DOS end up getting like assigned to like, have sex with Keith Raniere, and
Yeah.
it starts to turn into like a sex cult, which gets very intense.
And while the heat is being turned up, if I remember correctly, don't the women answer to other women to hold them accountable? There's also like they're being malnourished and they're trying to lose weight, or they're trying to like excessively exercise. Like,
Yeah.
so, which is also certainly not helping in people making clear judgments or being able to think about what's happening, right?
Yeah. They're told that it's all women, but really it's Keith Raniere at the top kind of orchestrating it all, but
okay,
they're
right.
not aware of that. So to them, they think it's a sorority, like, oh, these women are coming together to make me the best version of myself. But yeah, it starts, restricting their calories. They have to do like readiness drills where, they have to respond to a text within a minute.
That's right.
Or they get punished by having to take a cold shower or restrict food longer. Yeah, all sorts of things.
And didn't they? And it was also like they had to send pictures of themselves, right?
Yeah.
Well,
People-
so okay. That's how they get part of their getting into it.
Okay.
Is something called
Collateral.
collateral. So in the doc, how they introduce it, right, is one of the women, one of the stars of the doc, explains that she's in ESP, which is like a more out there, less secret part of Nexium, where you do this executive success program. You're doing these EMs to help your limiting beliefs, moving up the ladder and helping and coaching other people to do the same thing. A friend of hers within the organization said, do you want to be part of this subgroup of women? It's women empowerment. That was like James said, it was like, it's about women empowerment. But if you join, in order for me to tell you more about it, you have to give me something called collateral, which is essentially blackmail. So you have to tell me secrets about you that you wouldn't ever want to get out, like negative things, so that I can know how committed you are. I can be sure that you're committed
That's
to
the
this group.
devotion,
Mhm.
right? That's like
That's
the show.
the
And it
devotion.
includes like nude photos, or
Right.
somebody even like puts like the deed to their house up
Yep.
as collateral, which
Mhm.
obviously like is super coercive and blackmail. I mean, once you've
Totally.
sent that over, you really have no choice.
And the other thing that this person tells her is, when you join, you'll be under me. Each of the original members has like a bunch of members under them, and those members are considered she uses the term slaves. And she says, and I'm their master, and you'll call me master, and I'll call you slave. Which, like, on it, obviously to the three of us, is a pretty like shocking term to use. And it's presented to the women as kind of like an exercise in, what could you call it? An exercise in devotion to something, commitment to something. And they keep arguing that it's like commitment to self. And yet they're abandoning self to obey this master for what they can eat, control of their money, I believe, their labor, their goals. And a lot of the women get really encouraged to make goals around losing weight. That's a big part of this cult. And it's kind of a hallmark of cults, apparently, controlling the body. And yeah, food intake definitely has a lot of effect on your like psychological health and clarity, your
Right.
wise mind. Well, okay. Do we want to get into the branding piece? I mean, it gets worse and worse.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
Something else too that I think is really like manipulative about it is that you are basically like told not to trust your intuition anymore.
Yeah.
They call it viscera. So if you're having like an intuitive response that something's off, it's like, oh no, that's just like your viscera telling you that you're, that you need to change more. And so they're basically like conditioned to no longer trust their intuition. So then that, coupled with being like malnourished and sleep deprived, like how, people aren't going to be able to realize like, I'm in a bad situation here. This is not healthy for me.
Which is our podcast, right? The Wise Mind Happy Hour,
Yeah.
right? Like we talk all about, and James certainly knows from a DBT perspective, right? Like we want to listen to our intuition, right? Because
Yeah.
even if we don't know exactly what it's telling us, there's some inherent wisdom there,
Mhm.
right? That at least it's like pinging. So that's so I don't remember that at all, but that's so fascinating that it's
Yeah.
like, no, like don't pay attention to that. That's
Right.
actually not
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Just
useful.
noise, that
Right.
gut feeling or that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're told not to trust their wise mind.
Right.
Like actively turned away from their wise mind.
Yeah. And so somehow what they invite the women to do, like, and they really do coerce them because they like have them put blindfolds on, take off their clothes. They don't tell them where they're going on one of these like DOS retreats. And they're brought into a room and the women are told they're going to be branded with like this hot poker.
Hmm?
And the brand they later kind of find out upon looking at it is Keith Raniere's initials mixed with Allison Mack, a main DOS kind of member, one of the earliest members who's like running it with this Keith guy. Kind of like a sign of ownership over them. And a lot of people talk about in the doc how like to brand someone, like burn their flesh is so incredibly painful. It like forces a dissociative state
Mm-hmm.
for someone so they don't know what they're agreeing to. And, you know, a lot of the women, I mean, there was heinous violations going on in this, even beyond just the brand, you know, like sexual assault. I mean, it's all sexual assault. Forcing them to be naked is sexual assault, you know, all of this stuff. And then they have this brand. So there's also that like cognitive dissonance of like, I've done this, I've gone this far. So I guess I am committed to this group, kind of the way like fraternities and sororities haze. And this is considered a sorority. And yeah, like these women all the time have to spend like every second of every day asking permission from their quote master, what they can do,
What they can eat.
what they can eat. They're run ragged every single day.
Master, may I have 31 calories?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 92 calories were some of the text messages. And then some of the women, part of what they're kind of told to do or like scheduled to do is sex with Keith Raniere, the head.
Yeah.
And one woman said that wasn't put on her radar as something that her master wanted her to do until she had lost a certain amount of weight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, heinous.
Yeah,
sex
so I mean, it's
Yeah.
horrifying.
Hence the sex trafficking charge that results in that and other charges that result in a 120-year prison sentence for the leader.
And what's so interesting for us as therapists, or I can say for me as a therapist, is like we watched again this first episode and the self-help like intro piece to this organization seems pretty benign and kind of similar to therapy.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, when they watch a cult doc, they're like, I would never join a cult. And it's like, yeah, well, if you knew what DOS was, you wouldn't join that.
Right.
But the like kind of more benign self-help aspect of it, I'm like,
Yeah.
I would fall for that. I wouldn't have caught on the red flags, like, because I know them now, but I certainly would not have been aware of them at the time.
Yeah.
Well, it's the slow burn, right? It's like the
Totally.
incremental. If I can get this person to do this thing, you know, we'll sit in
They'll
that for a
trust
little
me
bit,
more. Yeah.
and then I'll get them to do the next thing and see, right? Like
Yeah.
it's that incremental. Where right when you see the disaster and the house is on fire, then you're like, of course I wouldn't join that
Right.
cult.
Right.
Totally.
I remember reading an article that was like a woman who had written a book about cults and done research and was like, there's so many cults out there. You only hear about the ones that go up in flames.
Right.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
and it was kind of like a shocking thing to read that sentence where it's like, they don't all just burn down.
Right.
Like there's
So
a lot more
true.
out there that you're not even aware of that are still operating. And, you know, the ones that make the news are the ones like Jonestown and, you know, Heaven's Gate and all of these things.
Yes. The extreme,
Right.
extreme.
But, you know, and Scientology, I guess people know about it, but it's an example
Yeah.
of it's up and running.
It's up and running totally. And
Yeah.
people are devoted.
Reading that just kind of sent a chill down my spine where it was like, oh, yeah, this is
Yeah.
more out there than you think, probably.
Far
Or
more
at least
common.
than I was thinking. Yeah.
I think too, there's also like parallels between cult or culty groups and like abusive relationships or partners. And so I think when people feel like, oh, well, I, can't relate to this at all, I think it's actually more relatable than a lot of people think. Like the
Yeah.
coercive control and just some of the manipulation that happens in
Yeah.
like intimate partner violence.
Yes.
Because at any moment, somebody from the outside might be like, well, how did you let it get that far? Or how did you let this person treat you like that? Or, right. And it's like, well, it's like maybe it didn't just happen in one moment, right? There was
Yeah.
like so much manipulation and other things going on coercion, whatever it is, like that led up to maybe now we're seeing it in full view, but when you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah. And I think it's important for people to like kind of be aware of some of the red flags, like being told to doubt your wise mind or your intuition, or, you know, being told that your feelings aren't accurate or valid, or one person having so much power or control over you, or there being only one person who has the solutions or the answers.
Right.
Yeah.
Some red flags.
Well, yeah. Because like even that idea of like, I am the reason for a lot of my problems, right? Or I'm in my own way. I personally, and to an extent clinically, like hold that idea a lot of the time, both like clinically, like in a functional way, but also I'm into manifestation. Like I think a lot about, and I remember thinking this so much with dating, you know, because like I would meet other women that were single, and this would like dating is such a fun topic and people love to talk about it. And especially if you're looking for your partner, you might in some ways be like desperate, you know, and want to know like what other people's strategies are and whatever. And I remember being on like a bachelorette weekend where someone was like, you know, we were the only two single women there, and she had like recently gone through a breakup, and she was like, you know, what are your strategies? Like, what are you doing? What are you putting on your online dating profile? What are you doing? And I remember saying to her, like, the only thing in my way is myself, you know, like I don't need to think about what do I write on the profile? How do the pictures look? How do this? It's more about like, how do I relate to myself? Am I connected to my self-worth? And I believe that, like in my bones, I believe that. But I was thinking about that, like hearing Keith Raniere talk about that, like these ideas that like in a deep way resonate. But I wonder what you two think of this, because I almost think like if you don't hold that idea dialectically, you miss the entire essence of it. I don't literally think that nothing else has an effect.
Sure.
You know, like it's almost like you hold an idea and there's a core of it that's true and there's a bunch around it. You know, it's like you don't have to look at yourself as a victim in general, but you can also acknowledge when you have been victimized. And I think there's something important in doing both, especially in this group, because it's like if you coach a whole like generation of people that like you can never be a victim and you convince them over and over of this idea and then you victimize them, then they believe like, oh, this is viscera. Like I'm not a victim, even if this person is like sexually abusing me in the moment.
But I think there's also the other half of it, which is these people believe he has the answer.
Yes.
So it's not just that. Absolutely. Like I do believe you can hold like, I am getting in my own way.
Yeah.
100%. But they are also clouded by the idea that one person is going to get them out of their own way.
Right.
Right. Whereas in therapy, it's like, yeah, we can have conversations with people where it's like, it seems like you're getting in your own way in this.
Yeah.
But it's also, we hold the space of like, I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Right.
I don't, right. So there is a huge difference there where it's like, and he probably doubles down on that. And it's like, well, of course I have the answer for you.
Yeah.
That's why you're here with me. That's why we're doing all of this, right? Like, because I am the one who's going to lead you through it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's like both of those things happening simultaneously.
Yeah,
Probably
you're
is
right.
like, not only are you getting in your own way, but you're not even empowered enough to do it. You need me to help you get out of your own way.
Almost like a super like toxic, rigid form of radical acceptance. Like you must radically accept that you are at fault for like every single thing that's happened to you. And it sort of like disqualifies the role that like systems play. Like, we can dialectically hold that like I have responsibility for my own behavior. And also there's things outside of my control that I respond to and have feelings about. Yeah. That's also important and valid. So yeah, it's just very, very toxic and rigid.
I'm always like trying to think about like the person at the top's like headspace. Like do they get lost in the sauce and suddenly they're sexually abusing people? Or was that the intent from the beginning? Like what? I almost wonder if you get like drunk on the power. I'm sure you do, but it's like, I wonder where it starts. Like, I don't know why that feels meaningful to me. And I'll probably never know.
It makes me think about some of the people like below Keith that also like went to prison for their involvement, but also were victims themselves.
Right.
Because I think for some of them, like Allison Mack, for example, she actually thought she was like doing good things for people. Like it was all in the pursuit of like self-improvement or improving the people that, looked up to her. I think she legitimately believed that.
Wow. Because you listened to a little of her pod.
Yeah.
So
And that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Because
What
she
did-
kind of like goes through the process of like kind of still struggling with the fact that she did bad and did harm to folks. And I think it took her kind of a bit of time to really like come to terms with that and kind of like unscramble her brain because, she was just so manipulated.
Right.
And so it was really interesting. It's like a 7-part series, perhaps, maybe 6 or 8. But it's really interesting to kind of like hear her process because the interviewer kind of talks about her before her prison sentence, during and after.
Yeah.
And so you kind of get a sense of her kind of like arc and coming to terms with it. But it was a bit of a lengthy process. Like she really had to undo a lot of the brainwashing.
Having seen her in the doc, when you say like she has this like new insight, like I instantly something in me, talk about my gut feeling.
Yeah.
I feel like that's fake.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I
That's
feel bad.
so
I haven't
fair.
even heard it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm also just like, I always look for the best in
Yeah.
people. I think I'm just
You
like
do.
too optimistic.
You're so good like that.
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's always a good thing,
I'm
but
such a hater. Truly.
we balance each other out maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Part of me believes her. I think I've always been
Love
rooting
to
for
hate.
her.
I love to drink the haterade.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think I might not be. I don't know if that's a popular opinion, but I don't know. Part of me thinks she's
figured something out.
that's my take, and I'm
no, that's
yeah.
fair.
Well, Josh definitely talked about feeling a little creeped out by her.
Yeah,
I'm creeped out by a lot of people,
Yeah.
both in the stock and out of the stock.
Yeah.
just generally creeped
Well,
out.
everyone's crying all the time.
Yeah, those repressed emotions just like seeping out of people randomly, and
Yeah.
For sure.
During volleyball.
During volleyball.
I mean, volleyball gets everyone emotional.
Yeah. Keith would like play volleyball and then
Like hold court.
he'd like hold court.
No pun intended. But like, on the court, he would like
And he looked, I mean, this is such a judgment, but he looked so goofy in his little volleyball outfit.
totally.
And it was always the middle of the night.
He's kind of a goofy looking guy.
He's a very goofy looking guy.
It's a judgment too. But
Well, because he's obviously such a megalomaniac and he's kind of like diminutive and short and kind of like
Right.
goofy a little.
it's goofy.
a little goofy.
And when he meets Allison Mack, it's a very uncomfortable scene to watch. Like it looks like right before two people like get together kind of thing. But she's also like crying
Mm-hmm.
as she's kind of always crying. She cries the most. The like content of the conversation is like, does art come from art or does art come from within us? And at that idea, she's like crying and
I mean, he wants her in.
oh, big time because she's a celebrity.
Well, yeah, I don't think we've mentioned that yet for people
Yeah.
who don't know. Because if you just mentioned that name, I don't think I would have known prior
Right.
to
Yeah.
the documentary or seeing it who this person was. So she's an actress.
Yeah, she's not Jennifer Lawrence, but she is. She was in Smallville.
That was like her claim to fame, right?
Yeah, the Superman TV show, super popular show.
Yeah, there were a few other actors too that got involved in Nexium, like Nikki Klein and a couple other people from.
Yeah, Battlestar Galactica. Yeah. So some celebs, I mean, like Scientology, they went after celebs.
Yeah.
According to the doc.
It's part of getting people in, right? If this famous person,
Yeah.
Definitely.
thinks this is the best thing, then
Right.
It looks credible.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they used credibility in their favor, right? I mean, if your like best friend or your partner or your family member said like, "Hey, join me for this retreat. It changed my life. It's only 5 days of your life."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chances are higher that you would attend if
Yeah.
Yeah.
you have that.
How close of a friend would it have to be for you to buy in to doing that with someone?
I mean, well, with what I know now, I think I would be far more cautious.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, cult interest. I don't know. I don't think it would have taken a lot for me to attend something like that.
Well, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it probably depends on like what else is going on in your life.
That's the thing. It's got to be that sweet spot, maybe,
Right.
where
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
you feel a little bit lost or
Yeah.
really lost.
Yeah.
You're having a lot of struggles, or
Yeah.
or you're young and you're
Move to a new place.
Well, yeah, because they capitalize on one's need for like a sense of belonging.
right.
And when you
Totally.
haven't had that for so long and then you think you found that in a group, it's sort of intoxicating.
yeah.
Yeah. There's an episode where they talk about Keith's like living arrangements. He lives with like 4 women that ultimately are all like dating him to different degrees and he's having sex with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're like both aware of it, and then some of them are less aware of it. Some of them are totally okay with anything he says. Others are like a little bothered by it, and the other women will try to convince them it's okay. And you know, there's consensual non-monogamy. That does not appear to be what this is in terms of like how consensual any piece of it is. It's pretty bizarre. Yeah, a lot of secrecy, not a lot of respect. I mean, no respect for anyone's intuition but
Yeah.
Keith's.
It's the opposite of informed consent.
Yeah.
Was there any part of it where people from the outside wasn't Allison Mack's mom trying to get her out?
That's Catherine Oxenberg, who was trying to get her daughter India out.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
So there were people trying to really try to, yeah, that's right.
They're the ones who ultimately got him indicted.
Yeah, it kind of kickstarted the process because they, I think, partnered with like the New York Times to put out an article.
Okay.
But it didn't get published until like the Me Too movement was really popular because it sort of fit a little bit along that narrative. And then I think it was after the article came out that like federal prosecutors got involved. And then I think that the conviction of Keith Raniere has been used as precedent for cases moving forward.
Oh,
really?
wow.
Yeah. Which is
that's
hard.
good.
You know, sometimes coercive control is hard to define. And
Yeah.
there's some issues in the courts trying to prosecute for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because seems like these people are willing and signed up for it. And yet coercive control isn't consent or signing up for it.
Right.
Right.
Wow.
It's riveting, the doc. And, you know, like, I do think, like, a lot of it can look like therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, like, of course, we're not going to knock anyone for, like, self-improvement, wanting to explore their own growth.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's great. And it's so fascinating that can be your intention for joining something like this. And it winds up in a secret society sex cult where you're calling someone master and they're calling you slave. I mean, it's so the frog in boiling water. It's a great analogy because like there was one woman, I think she's like my favorite character in the whole doc, named Susan Downs, who they sued for like $2 million. And she represented herself over like 10 years and she won over time. She had such a healthy center. And like when she started to have problems with the cult, she was like in the first group of people who had problems with it. And they went to talk to Keith, all these women. And he said something. And she said to the camera, she goes, I thought to myself, oh my God, I'm in a cult. She was like the only one who like in the moment sitting with him was like, oh my God, I'm in a cult.
Yep.
And realized it. And then she went through that horrible 10-year process and she like had to educate her judge. And she's like, you don't know who you're dealing with. Like they will come after me and they will never stop. And they have lots of money behind them. And she represented herself because she wouldn't be able to afford lawyers for that many years. And she had such a like center. Like she's like, I went through it. And even going through that, I learned about myself and I learned about my own strength. And I learned that I wasn't that person who, you know, that was a bad experience I had. And it was so moving to me. And she wasn't crying. She was the only one who wasn't sitting there sobbing. I was like, because she actually has emotional regulation and wisdom and like has learned and processed. I was like, I love this woman. Like, good for her.
It's okay to cry.
It's okay to cry. Of course it's okay to cry. I like cry about everything. But I think that like instability, that like almost anything emotional that came up, all these people are just like not able to not cry, feels like they're getting really, really overtaken by feeling, by viscera, which they claim
Viscera.
to be like disavowing.
Man.
And they give names to things to help. That's a method of control, to rename
Like a language.
things that you know intuitively from your own experience, emotions, feelings, you know, it's like call it viscera, call it disintegrations, call it, you know, there's like control in that too.
I don't want to turn it political, but it just is like charismatic leader. Not that I feel like this leader particularly has charisma. Certain people do though.
Yeah.
Us versus them, loyalty, devotion. Like,
it definitely
it just feels
seems
bad. Like it just
Trump.
feels like we'll do whatever you say.
Yeah.
We'll
doesn't matter
remove people
what it
from their
is.
homes. We'll
Yeah.
deport anybody. Doesn't really matter because nothing's going to happen anyway. Right. So it just feels very like,
Totally.
resonant in terms of just political
Because
system.
when people say that Trump is charismatic, I'm always like cross-eyed. Like,
Oh, I was talking about somebody else. I don't know. No, sorry.
but they must be using that term like if charisma, like with Keith, almost means like they have this like intense energy that is galvanizing. It's not like they're like Brad Pitt and you're like, woo.
Right. Or even well-spoken.
Right.
You know, Keith Raniere,
well spoken.
I mean, could I guess be considered that
more
comparatively
than
to Trump?
Yeah, definitely.
I think what's charismatic or what people view is like just the complete disregard.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yeah.
idea of like, well, somebody's finally saying it, or, you know, what we're all
Yeah.
thinking. And it's like, well, there's a reason you shouldn't be saying it because it's
Right.
wrong. Like,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
just flat out wrong. But
Right.
it's like that doesn't necessarily make somebody charismatic, but I think people view that as charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just wild to me that anybody would think one person is like 100% correct all of the time.
All the time.
Like we need to hold the nuance and the dialectic,
Right.
right? That like
Right.
any person has, you know, positive and negative
Right.
qualities or makes
Yeah.
healthy and unhealthy
And not
choices.
just that, but be devoted when that person makes mistakes
Mhm.
Yeah.
and not being able to even challenge that. And
Yeah.
like, nope, because this person, no matter what they're doing, sure, we'll buy another country or
Yeah.
we'll just take it over.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
The call is coming from inside the cult.
we might need to
Yeah.
question that a little bit, you know?
Yeah. And do you guys think it's that people like think this person has all the answers or almost like they just so badly like want them to?
That's a good point.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Cause like I've definitely had
It's probably both.
it's probably both. I've like feel like I've had it's not everyone I work with, but like over the years, like there definitely are clients who are more just desperate for like, just give me the rule book.
Yeah.
You know, tell me how to be. It's hard to like visit my wise mind and like go within myself. And then other clients who it's more natural and
Mm.
whatever, but it's interesting. Like,
Mhm. I mean, we don't like to sit in nuance.
yeah.
We like it to be one way or the other. And like accessing your wise mind is sort of sitting in the nuance,
Yeah.
right?
It's hard.
Totally. It is. And there is no like certainty in it.
There's, you know, for us as therapists, that is very rich ground for somebody to sit into. One, I don't have the answer, but two, even if I did, I don't think I would give it to you. Right. It's
Right.
kind of like, whereas Keith Raniere is probably like, oh, I have it.
Mhm.
Of course I have it. No matter what, even though he knows he doesn't.
Yeah.
So I think they're desperate for an answer,
Right.
and they're desperate that maybe I finally found somebody who has it, who always
Yeah.
has the answer, you know, and that can be intoxicating or charismatic.
Yeah.
Sort of sounds nice.
He makes it sound like scientific or
Yeah.
like there is like something behind it.
I mean, it sort of sounds nice to have a leader that you could 100% rely on.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever felt that towards any politician, but
Right.
Mhm.
I don't know. It seems very comforting and safe. So
Yeah.
it sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a god,
Mm-hmm.
or like religiosity can be this.
Right.
I mean, was the Wise Mind Happy Hour. The core of what we do is helping people to contact that inner voice. Like, what do you notice? Because, you know, with EMDR, there's a lot of similarities to that EMing.
Mm-hmm.
I really was like, oh, wow. Like the way they described like a few times doing it, you can feel totally different about something. There's a lot of that with EMDR, but the whole premise of EMDR is like, how is a past trauma affecting you now? What do you believe about yourself? Can you use your own wise mind, which you access through the bilateral stimulation, to yourself make inferences, notice new things in your present day that are no longer true, and like transcend a past experience? But really it is centered in the client, especially in EMDR. Like you never make an interpretation for them, almost to a painful degree for a therapist who's done a lot of other types of therapy. There's no interpreting. There's just, what do you notice?
Mm-hmm.
Teaching them the noticing of their own experience. What sounds resonant for you? This positive belief you mentioned earlier, does it still fit? Does something fit better? They tell you. So in that way, it's very different. And it isn't really magic. It's helping them access their wise mind.
Yeah.
Their own wise mind. Not my wise mind, theirs.
EMDR and EM, they even share
I mean,
the same
yeah.
letters. Like,
It's a little freaky. I mean, the
Yeah.
first time I was doing EMDR, I was like, or even experienced it myself, I was like, it is a little freaky
Mhm.
and helpful, and a great tool in the toolbox.
Mhm.
But it's like there is this thread between all the therapies we all do, which really is like your center,
Mhm.
like letting that guide you. We don't call it viscera, but it's like feeling your feelings, honoring them, not letting them decide everything in your life.
it's like data that informs you but doesn't control you.
Totally. And sometimes like Nippy says in that one episode of the doc, he's like, if a bus is coming toward you, you listen to the fear and you run, and there's a million situations where the fear doesn't match the moment and you do want to expand around it, or they would think of it as viscera, but they go to the extreme.
And in those situations, you listen to the data and decide, like, is this helpful for me or not, rather than just immediately disregard it,
Yeah.
regardless of the context or the situation.
Right.
In one of the lectures on the difference between the genders, I don't know if you remember those episodes. Oh my God. At the very end of season 1, he talks about like women are just like princesses who are entitled and men are.
This is Keith Raniere saying this?
Mhm.
Okay.
And men are protectors and like, all these like complete insane stereotypes that don't like, I have a lot of like masculinity in me. You have femininity in you. I like to think like we both are like, if you think of the Freudian like anima, animus, like integrated, like I don't feel like the world's most feminine woman.
When he says men are oafs, that
it's like,
resonated.
we're oafs. It's like probably,
Oafs.
do any of us relate? Like I don't
I
feel
just like that word.
Yeah.
Oafs.
And there's like women that are oafs. There's like, it's like
There's
whatever.
men that are princesses.
Right. But yeah, it's like, why did I bring this up?
I don't know.
Oh. And he's telling this group of women, like, you're princesses, you're entitled. When men look at you, they see like a bunch of little kindergartners. He said that, like as women. And I'm like, looking at the women, and they're just nodding. I'm like, oh, this is how I can know that I actually wouldn't go this far into a cult, because there's no world in which I'd sit there and not be like, actually, I disagree. Let me present some other things to you. Nobody does that, which it's discouraged. And maybe those people get phased out.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like who gets phased out and
It's only yes people in the room at that point.
Because I would just be like, I'm sorry.
Like how many
yeah,
people did at some point just kind of like walk before they got in too deep.
Well, that other Smallville actress, they questioned, they're like, why did she leave? And I think she was like pushed towards some things and she was like, I'm out.
Listen to her wise mind.
Didn't really whistleblow, but left.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fascinating. We could go on about it forever, but
It's so like a train wreck. Like you can't take your eyes away from it. Like it's just like so difficult to watch, but so like mesmerizing.
yeah.
Which is a terrible word to use because there's so much just
Abuse.
pain and
Yeah.
abuse in it. It's horrifying. But it just had me captivated. I remember the first time.
It sort of like teaches me something about humanity and myself a little bit, though. Like I definitely see myself like in some of the people at times. And I think that's been an interesting way to try to like relate to it more than just like consume it as a form of media, but actually like, I don't know, relate to the people in it and like kind of think through like how that would feel to experience it. Or
100%.
Yeah.
And I think also too, the idea of like how much power people can hold over other people. And it made me think of too that like Stanford prison experiment where it's
They
like,
use that a bunch in this.
it's just like, the pushing people to a limit and not questioning authority, and like people can really use their whatever it is, charisma, power, manipulation to just do such heinous things. Like one person can do that to just one other person, but just on a larger scale. It's just so like humans are powerful beings, and you have to respect that and be powerful of that, or mindful of that. I don't know.
Totally.
yeah.
But maybe we'll kind of pin
We
ourselves
could go on for
there. We
hours.
could go on forever. And maybe we'll there's a bunch of cult docs and they all have interesting kind of like implications for therapy or ideas, because they all really start with self-help. Some of them are a little more like religion-y. like
Right.
Heaven's Gate,
Jonestown, I think,
Jonestown.
was much more religion-y.
Yeah.
Even Wild Wild Country.
Wild Wild Country for sure.
David Koresh, what was that one?
David Kerr, the Waco, Texas.
The Waco, Texas. What was
what
the-
was the cult?
I can't remember the name of that cult.
Yeah, let's look.
God, I was a kid when that was happening, and I had no idea what was happening. I just remember that being everywhere, all over the news, as it should have been, and just being like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
This guy thinks he's Jesus, and like, no, but nobody's telling me. I was too young. What year did that happen? Like 90?
That happened in 1993.
93. So I was 11.
The Davidians, the Branch Davidians.
The Branch Davidians. Yeah, so I was like
David
11 years
Koresh.
old when that was happening, and I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Like this man says he's Jesus, or the second, or it's the second coming of Jesus.
Claimed to be its final prophet.
And same thing. He had women, he had families there. He had multiple women that
Yeah, like sex crimes.
he was. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. And there is one I haven't watched with the female leader.
Oh, is that the Teal Swan doco?
Not, I do want to, you had mentioned that. I do want to watch that. I'm thinking of the Mother God.
Oh, that one is wild.
It's called
Yeah.
Mother God.
The
Mother God.
Yeah.
Mother God.
That one is one of the
Maybe we
most
should do an ep on
wild
this.
docs I've ever seen.
What format or platform?
I think it's on
also
HBO.
HBO.
Is it?
I mean, you're going to have to come over and watch it. Yeah, I can give you the password.
That one's
Yeah.
a binge-worthy one. I think it's like 3 episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Silver nitrate.
Oh my God, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Colloidal silver, I think.
Colloidal silver.
Yeah.
That's what
Oh,
it is.
man.
Yeah.
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 That one's
Oh,
pretty wild.
Boy.
That one, there's some substance use involved.
Yeah.
Do you ever get to a point? Because I don't think I would ever get to a point where I'd be like, you know what? I've seen enough documentaries on that subject.
No, never.
I wouldn't.
I'm constantly
all
like
different.
searching for new ones. I'm like,
Yeah.
when's the next one coming
know.
out?
There's one, I don't know, it was a small cult out of Sarah Lawrence College.
I remember you mentioning that one.
Yeah.
That one's
That one
pretty
I
bizarre.
read about, and that one was very disturbing. They're all pretty disturbing.
Well, yeah, you got to approach with caution for our listeners.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah.
you know, just,
Content warning.
yeah, content wise and
Go watch it if you haven't seen it.
Go
It's
watch it.
interesting. It's fascinating.
Right in.
And it
Let
will
us know your
also arm
thoughts.
you with the ability to hopefully be able to tell if you're being approached by a cult.
Be mindful of those red flags.
be mindful
Yeah.
of some of those things for sure.
So we'll transition into our How Wise Is It?
How wise is it question,
And we
which
have a
comes from
fun
the
one.
field. This is like
Yeah.
the front lines of the field. So how wise is it to read a book at a major sporting event?
Yeah.
So this comes from I mentioned I went to the Bulls game.
Go
Now,
Bulls.
let me set the scene here. So the Bulls game was at 6:00 on Sunday night. The Bears are in the playoffs and they're playing at 5:30.
Whoa.
So I'm going into the Bulls game imagining, oh, this will be great. There's not going to be a lot of people here. I wasn't interested in watching the Bears game. I'm a Packers fan. Huge
Oh, that's
reveal.
right. That's right.
Huge review.
So I take the fam, we go, and every other person that's in there has their phone up and they're streaming the Bears game on their phone,
Oh my God. That is incredible.
which I didn't bat an eye at. I was like, well, they're at a sporting
Like,
event.
that's post apocalyptic.
They're watching another sporting event. So we sit down and there's these two guys. One of them, people are just in full Bears regalia at this Bulls game, right?
Wow. Okay.
This guy's got the Bear hat on inside. He's got the jersey and he's sitting next to one of his friends and they're both watching the game. And I'm like, man, everybody's doing this. And Sarah goes, well, what do you think about what she's doing? And I was like, well, what? And I look over and Sarah's like, she's reading a book. And so she's sitting next to these two guys who she knew because she was like talking to them, but she had the book open, physical book on her lap, reading.
She's a hero.
Yeah. My idol, my icon.
Sarah was like, if I got dragged here by those two knuckleheads, I'd probably be reading a book too.
I'd bring out like Crime and Punishment.
She could have been dating one of them. She could have been a sibling. They could have all been siblings. I don't know. They looked all to be in the same range, but it just kind of struck me as, how wise is it? So I'm curious. I mean, I experienced it firsthand there, but what do you all think? How wise is it?
I don't know. I think it's pretty wise. I feel like that's a
Pretty
self-worth
bold.
move. Like somebody who
Yeah.
knows themselves. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I also got gifted this like 800-page novel for Christmas. I didn't realize it was that long until I like opened it up and it was like
Whoa. What is it?
heavy. It's called Bastion.
Okay.
It's sort of like a I don't know how to describe it. Like a hero kind of like faces all these challenges and gets like
Okay.
stronger and stronger. But anyway, I have to like read this 800-page book, so I'm gonna bring it everywhere
gonna
I want to
bring it.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get forced into a sporting event that you don't really care about.
Yeah.
So your partner says, I really want to go to this thing with you. And you're like, sure. Do you tell Luis before that you're bringing the book? And then you just pop it out? And
Mm.
does he then say, well, you know what, James, actually, if you're going to read, like, I don't want you to come because I kind of want to like enjoy the sporting event with you.
Yeah. See, there's context there.
Yeah.
That changes things. I don't think I'd bring the book in that case.
In that case.
If it was like, I want you to like watch this with me and we can like talk about it and watch it
Yeah.
together. But if it's like, this is my 100th game and you know I don't like it, but you just want me to be there,
Got it.
Yeah.
then I would read my book.
So if Kelly and I drag you to the Bulls game.
Yeah.
I would watch the game. I wouldn't read a book.
All right. fair
We're
enough.
both watching the Bears game on our phones and James is reading.
I'm the only one watching the sporting event, and you two are streaming the Vow second episode on your
The
phones.
vow, yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
love sports, but if I'm like at a live sporting event, because it's not something I do often,
Right.
I'll watch.
Yeah.
Sure.
But like, it also depends on the sport. Like, if it's like
Yeah.
basketball or hockey, there's like constant action.
Yeah.
Like, you don't
So
really
fun.
need any stimulation outside of that.
That's true.
But like a Bears game or a football game, it's like, oh, gotta wait 10 seconds for them to reset. You know, like
Yeah.
a lot
But
of
they're just
stop and
standing around
go.
the entire game.
And do you feel like with all of the sensory experiences going on that you could pay attention to your book?
Ooh, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
You'd have to be a real Jedi.
That's fair. What do you think? I know what you think.
Yeah.
I think it's like I admire it so much if I see someone
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know that it would be wise for me.
Okay.
I think in that case, I probably should just like sit that game out.
Okay.
Now, if I'm like a mom of a couple kids and they really want to go,
Yeah. I think that's a little different.
and there's no chance this woman was their mom,
I don't believe that this was their mom.
their very youthful teen mom.
There is something to be said about, right, like, I'll be there with you and I'm going to
Yeah.
do my own
I'm
thing.
gonna be emotionally
But why
absent.
did I think it was? Why it's interesting because those guys were not paying attention either,
Yeah,
and they were there.
that's
So
wild.
it's interesting that they were both not paying attention, but it struck me so much more like interesting that she was reading a book
Yeah,
because those guys were just on their phones.
Yeah.
And the most cheers at that entire Bulls game came when they would put the Rams logo on the scoreboard for when the other team was shooting free throws because everybody was booing. So that was how they got people involved in the Bulls game was because people were so invested in the Bears game that was going on.
Oh my God! Wow, it's like a
And the
Russian
loudest cheers were
doll.
when they showed like they flashed the score and the Bears were winning at one point and things like that. But
Wow, did the Bears win?
they ended up losing
Did the Bulls win?
in overtime. The Bulls had a great game.
No one would have known.
No, yeah.
At one point, they were in the third quarter shooting like 60% from 3-point
My
range.
goodness.
They were
Oh, I feel bad for the players
They
because
were great.
I mean, them looking around, everyone's on their phone, and one woman has a novel out.
I was cheering.
Yeah,
But even
you were
Benny the Bull
cheering.
was in a Bears sweater.
But they
Oh
knew
my
you were a
goodness.
Bucks fan. They could tell.
Wrong. No, I cheer for the Bulls. I wear Bulls stuff
You
when I
do,
go to the
okay.
games.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
all have Bulls gear, we get it out and
That's
we
your
wear it.
Chicago team.
I'll wear
Bulls.
for the Sox too.
The Sox. Okay.
There is something though about like going to an event and just like being there to socialize or hang out rather than like actually watching the event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened to me
Yes.
at a concert last year. This like group of kids were like talking during the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is weird. Like, go farther away if you want to have a full conversation while this like
Right.
guy's bearing his soul on stage.
Right.
Well, it also made me think about, is it wise or how wise is it? Because, and again, context plays such a role and is so important, but is this person going in just kind of closing them off to like an experience
Yeah.
that they might
That's a good
have
point.
a different kind of experience at? Now,
Yeah,
granted,
you're
if
here.
they're a season ticket holder
Yeah.
and they're like, great, there's 82 of these that I got to come to
Right.
or whatever. Okay, sure, you're going to bring a book
Yeah.
sometimes.
Totally.
But we, when we were talking about like romanticizing or whatever, not that you're going to make the Bulls game romantic, but like, could I really
Yeah.
care in this moment about like being here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it change anything for you guys if she just so happens to be reading one of those books that you like can't stop thinking about? Art the Lover.
I mean,
You know, like a real page turner.
yeah, I would have a lot more buy-in there.
Like if I
Because there are books that I read that I'm like, I am counting down the minutes until work ends.
and I can get back
so
to
I can
it.
get back home, or like I'm
Right.
counting down the minutes until it's like, when are my kids? Like, we put my kids to bed because I
Yeah.
want to like get back to it. So
Yeah.
I can definitely see
Yeah.
if she's reading something or whoever's reading something and I see the cover and I'm like, oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
With those books, sometimes I'm like, I want to stretch them out. So I'm almost like, ooh, I want to
Yeah.
wait, even though it's so hard because it's like rare
Yeah.
that you're that like pulled into
Into
the
it.
story.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what's funny? This is making me think of something you said, Josh, because I like dread the idea of having a kid one day that like wants to play baseball specifically, and I have to like go and sit on the bleachers and like.
Oh, I dodged a bullet with that. My kids do not like
You're lucky.
baseball. I'm so lucky.
Well, when we, God bless, have a kid, I'm gonna have your kids brainwash them out of not wanting to play baseball.
yeah.
Just
But, like,
EM them.
I like think about it when I drive past
all day.
fields with like the
all
parents
day.
sitting there. I'm like, that is like the
All
seventh
weekend.
circle of hell
Mhm.
for me.
Oh, man.
And Josh is like, I could take them. Maybe I could even picture myself, and you said like sitting in the bleachers writing poetry.
Writing a little poultry.
Poultry.
Little haikus about our child playing baseball.
Aw.
My child swings the bat.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Next time.
Yeah.
Perfect. You already came up
A
with one.
little haiku.
Yeah, a little haiku.
But I thought that was cute. I was like, neither of us would be sitting there like coaching from the sidelines or even be all that engaged.
Yeah.
I can't picture it.
I remember when I was a kid, there was this one dad it was on my team. One of the dads and one of the other kids on my team was like, "You don't taunt the other players. You don't taunt the other players on the other team."
That's hilarious.
I was like, I feel like you're taunting me.
Totally.
Stop using that word.
Stop saying that.
Every time I see a parent that's like overly invested in their kids' sports,
Uh-huh.
like I really feel the urge to go up to them and be like, this is all pretend. Like, are you aware? These are children.
None of this matters.
Like, knock it
No.
off.
It's for fun.
It's going to be a rude awakening, I think, for you a little bit.
What? Why?
Like when I grew up playing sports, you were a seasonal athlete. So it was like whatever the season was, that dictated what you played.
Yeah.
These kids now are in hitting, pitching
Oh,
classes
God.
all year because honestly, some of these parents think it's like this kid's going to play in the major leagues. Like this is how you get them a scholarship. This is how you get them better. That is so much more apparent
Oh, my
now
God.
than it was where it was just like I did it to be social, to have friends. Of course I liked it, but like it was
Right.
like when the season's over, it's over.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I think you're going to be surprised.
You think I'm going to be bought in?
No, I think you're going to be surprised by how many parents take it that seriously.
Yeah, I'm probably going to think
because
they're
I
all
think a lot of
nuts.
parents do.
Oh,
And I think a lot of
God.
parents really see it as a vehicle for them to progress in something other than just like they're learning teamwork. And, I do think a lot of
Right.
parents view it that way.
Right.
But that's just been my experience because I was surprised by that. I was like, man, we're really taking this seriously pretty young here, know?
Right. Oh boy.
I know. But anyway, I do think it's getting back to the book, though. I think if everybody's on board, like maybe they were just happy to have her. Maybe she never goes.
Right.
Maybe this was like the introduction to it.
Yeah.
And they were like, we just want you there. Bring the book.
Yeah.
Why not?
She wants to go to the dinner spot after.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or come to, she did the dinner.
Yeah.
We went to her place that she wanted to, whatever. I
Yeah.
think that's pretty wise. Like,
I think do what you want.
do what you
And
want.
if the players have an issue with it, they're getting paid millions of dollars.
You said there's a famous like picture or moment of Sarah Jessica
Yeah.
Parker at a
Yes.
Yankees game.
I believe she's at a Yankees game with a book.
Okay.
What's the book? I should look up the picture because
You should look up the picture.
it's kind of a funny pic.
That has a different ring to it, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
It's like a
she's-
meme.
Rich,
Yeah.
So the rules don't apply.
and it's kind of like, well, what are you? Why? What? You could be seen anywhere. Why are you? Is she in like a? Because this person that was reading was not in any Bulls anything. Was she like in a Yankees hat? Tell me.
That's the pic.
Ah,
That's
Was
great.
she
I'm
reading?
having so much fun reading this book.
Yeah, what's the book? Reading at a Rangers game. So it's a hockey game. Oh my God, look who's beneath her.
It is
Chet
Tom
Hanks.
Hanks and
And
Chet.
Our favorite. Chet Hanks, Tom
That's
Hanks,
when you know you can't be
and
bothered
SJP.
when you're reading a book and you don't even want to talk to Tom Hanks.
Yeah, that's privilege.
Unfazed.
It's a flex.
What if
a
you
flex.
okay, because we get some music lovers in the room. What if you go to a concert that is a little bit maybe middle of the road where people kind of like sit down in parts of it and somebody's reading?
I feel like we've seen that.
I'm gonna write this down.
If they had a light on, I would be. I'm gonna write this down.
A book light.
If it's like dark and they're
Concerts are normally dark, so that would be pretty wild.
What if they were just on their phone and they were on the Kindle app?
Yeah, that's fine. If they're sitting down, I'll stand up.
We went to a
Yeah, I don't think
concert
it'll bother
where
me.
someone like camped out in the front and then they were watching like the Vampire Diaries on their phone.
Waiting for the show to start?
Yeah.
Not during the show.
No, waiting for it and maybe for the openers.
Okay.
Like both openers.
Alche?
No, it wasn't Alt J.
Waxahachie?
Yeah, it might have been Waxahachie or something like that.
She's got a real vampire fan base.
Huge.
I was kind of like, do you? But
You do you.
yeah.
I think that's my whole takeaway of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And if you're bothering your partner, don't do you.
Don't do you.
Respect your partner.
Wow, you really simplified that nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're going to 100 games and your dad's making you and you're not that into sports and you want to bring a Nintendo Power magazine, please just fucking do it. And when he gives you shit and you have trauma years later, you go to therapy.
You just go to therapy.
yeah. Perfect. I
Just
love
don't
that.
spring the book on someone.
Yeah.
Maybe give him a heads up.
But it also could be funny
It could be funny.
if he's bringing the book.
It could be funny.
Yeah.
I've just never, in all my years going to sporting events, I've never seen somebody reading a book.
It's pretty good.
It was just interesting.
Yeah. Could be a social experiment too. Like, what are people around me going to think of this?
Well, obviously, we dedicated some of this podcast to it. So I
Yeah,
hope
worked
that
on
person's
us.
listening. If that was you in section 231 at the Bulls game,
Reach out.
to us. We want to know what you were thinking.
Okay, well,
Mm.
we solved it for the most part.
As always.
Love
Yeah.
that for us.
Okay, so James, tell us where people
Yes.
can find you or if there's
Yeah.
anything you want to plug.
Yeah, well, if people want to reach out, you can email me at james.j.hruska, HRUSKA, @gmail.com.
Okay, you're going to get maybe a flood of cult questions.
Amazing.
Yes.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
And then we'll do a follow-up
That's the way.
episode.
Yeah, totally.
Well, this was so great having you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It was so fun. I felt like we were back in the office.
Reliving the
So fun.
good old days.
Yeah.
And this is about how much work we did. So it was
It's
perfect.
definitely about how much work I did.
Email me with
productive.
your questions. How wise is it? Let me know how we're doing. If there's any other cults that we should be looking into that maybe we don't know about, or even any book recs that we could bring to our next game. butz.jonathan@gmail.com. Kelly.
Okay. And yeah, you can reach me at kkpsychotherapy.com. Yeah, if you have thoughts on other cults, if you're starting a cult,
If you need a member,
if you need a founder. No, I'm just kidding. If you want to work with me, if you have suggestions for the pod, anything really, you can, find me at kkpsychotherapy.com on the inquiry page. And last but not least, Joshy boy.
JoshBayerFilms.com. Bayer is in the aspirin. I will edit anything you want, and I will not join a cult.
love it.
Or indoctrinate you into a cult.
Exactly.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Blanket Forts, for the music.
Yeah, Blanket Forts.
For the music.
Bye.
Bye.
The Wise Mind Happy Hour podcast is for entertainment purposes only, not to be treated as medical advice. If you are struggling with your mental health, please seek medical attention or counseling.